transaction, it's totally business process. So what exactly some business organizations do is they want the asset master also to be maintained from the inventory front. It means they will be creating for each of the asset master, they would be creating one separate material master. It means they will be procuring the material using the PO process. It is just like, normal materials, how what activities that you do to a particular material, you will be doing the same thing for this asset. In that case, they will be using, it means they want to see basically what kind of transactions that we will be doing, and they want to consider them as a material, one type of material. In such case, they will be creating there. So the values, everything will be posted in material. You can see in the material reports, you can see all these assets related information as well. There is no scenario. It is just a business requirement.
So most of the time, that business don't go with that
It's
functionality,
not
right?
that. It's not that. We have some businesses using this functionality, but very rare. You can find very rare.
Very rare, right? Okay.
Yeah. Then the next is history status, manage historically. So if you want to show the history of this asset class, I mean the asset master, you can select it. This is in the case of real estate management. There is another module called real estate. Then in such a case, we will have to go with this. So otherwise we don't require, I'm not sure about it. I've not worked, but that is relating to uh, real estate. So far, whatever we have seen, this is relating to furniture asset class. We have to do the similar activity for all other asset classes. So totally we have 6 asset class. We have just completed one. We will have to do for the remaining 5. Save it. Okay, back. Now take the same thing, copy it, and you can change X200. And the next is what? After furniture, we have machinery computer. Machinery, and here pick up the relevant account determination, pick up the relevant screen layout, and pick up the number range. I will put it as 2. Remaining things are all same. Then you can go by new entries or you can copy it. Or else what I will do, I will say X100, X200 copy. I will say X300 computer. I'll say 3000 X300 and 03. And the next one is for X400. What do we have for 400? Building, land, electrical fittings. X400 04. Building, land. Next is electrical fittings. So I just have to select 2 more. So these are ours. So I need to select 2 more for land and electrical fittings. X500 land, 5000 X500 05, and X600 electrical fittings 5000 x 500 and 05. Okay, that's it. Just
Nanda,
save it. Mhm.
if we wanted to configure or if we wanted to do modifications on a screen layout, where can we go and do it?
That's in the next step. We have
Oh,
not
next
done
step.
that
Okay,
part.
not done. Okay, I see.
I- i- It is just a code and the description. That's all I mentioned, right? We have in the next steps. It will take time. Okay. So it is just a code with some description, right? In the account determination also, it is just a code with some description. The account determination will happen in the next steps. Got it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so screen layout, the account determination we have seen, screen layout of we have seen, the number range intervals also we have seen, and we have maintained all of them in the asset classes. Okay, that's it. Specify chart of depreciation, dependent screen layout. Let's see what exactly this thing is. Yeah, this we will have little later. It's an automatic configuration. We will have it little. We will see that later. Okay, country specific is not required. This is for something else. That's why. Next is the integration with the GL accounts. Okay, integration with the GL accounts. This is the place the account determination, the one what we have created earlier, will play a key role here. It will play a key role here in this. Okay, assign GL account. It means the account determination is happening over here. So in order to have this thing, what are required? So we will create few GL accounts. We will have to create GL accounts. Go into FS00. I'm selecting as own 1248 and coming to the asset classes, right? So let us see what do we have. OBD4. I'm going into OBD4 to see what are my account groups. Chart of accounts is 1248. Current assets, expense, fixed asset. Now the range is 2 lakhs to 2 lakh 99. Okay, so it means reconciliation GLs are to be created within this range. All the reconciliation accounts are to be created within this range. So 2 lakhs to 2 lakh 19. Okay, so let me create 2 lakh as my 1GL 1248. Press enter, and here I will say balance sheet, but here I will select fixed assets, and this is going to be my furniture. Okay, 2 lakhs. Then control data here, reconciliation account type is going to be the assets. Assets, right? Then create and bank interest, we can say 67. Reconciliation account, it's similar to that of vendor and customer, but instead of the vendor or customer, we are selecting asset. That's only the difference. Okay, and as I mentioned already, the reconciliation accounts, we cannot post any transactions directly to this reconciliation account. Just to save it. Okay, that way we will create 2 lakh 1000. I will say 2 lakh 1000. Okay, fine. 2 lakh 1000. We will say for machinery, computer, right? Okay, just save. Machinery. Next is computer. 2 lakh 2. Computer. And next we can have 2,03,000. No, it's wrong. So I'm going back. FS00. System will not allow us to save it because the number range is different. 2,03,000. I would say after computer, what do we have? Building land, electrical fittings. Save it. Land 2 lakh 4. Building furniture, machinery, computer, building land, and what do we have? 1, 2, 5. The last one is electrical fittings. 2,05,000. I will say electrical fittings. Electrical fittings. I've completed all of them. Then I will have to have even the provision for depreciation. So what I will do, I'll select individual of them. I'm copying it and I will say 200, 500. So this is going to be my provision for depreciation. Provision for depreciation on provision for depreciation on furniture. Same properties, there is no change at all. Provision for depreciation is also going to be a reconciliation GL. Then similarly, machinery 1,01,500. I'm going in the same sequence. Now the machinery going to be provision for machinery. Provision for machinery. Save it. Then computer. Or you can select this one also and you can change it as 2 lakh 2. So just change the name here. Computer and here also computer. It will be here below the computer. Now the next I have is the building. So 2,03,500. I will just say as building. Let's save it. And on the land you will not have a depreciation, so we will not be creating any depreciation for land. And the lastly we will have to create a depreciation for electrical fittings. So this is going to be 5. Okay, I'm just saving. So you will not have a depreciation on the land. So I'm not created anything. So we have the account determination ready, GLs ready. So let's go and maintain the account determination. So assign GL accounts, path is IMG, financial accounting, asset accounting, integration with the GL accounting, then assign GL accounts, just execute. Give a chart of depreciation 1248. What's our depreciation chart of depreciation? Is that 1248 or I think oh my god. I think there is a change in that. 1001 something we have created. Okay. Why it is taking too much time? Ours is 1001. Okay. So yeah, we will have to do something here. In the organization structure, asset classes, define number ranges, define number range intervals. Here our company code 1248. I think we have maintained properly here. Yes. And nowhere we have mentioned our chart of depreciation. Right here we have just created our own, and screen layout we have created our own without providing any depreciation. And even here in this case also we have created on our own, so there is no impact anywhere. Okay, now let's get into asset GL accounts, assign GL accounts for all asset accounting. Our chart of depreciation is 1001. Enter our chart of depreciation. You can see here chart of accounts. So our chart of depreciation has this chart of accounts. How did we get this chart of accounts? We have not established any link between chart of depreciation and chart of accounts. The chart of depreciation is assigned to our company code, and that company code has this chart of accounts. So thereby you can see over here. So select the chart of accounts 1248, double click on account determination on the left side. Here we have got these account determination. Remember one important point: the account determination, screen layout, and the asset classes. All these are maintained at a client level. Those settings are not too specific to company code. Those are created at a client level, so that you can see, you can see other account determinations as well. You can see all other account determinations as well. So at the time of creating the account determination, so the moment I enter here, I'm not specifying the company code or chart of depreciation here. It means all these are created at client level. And similarly, the screen layout, you are creating all of them at the client level. But if you see the number range, the execute, you can see you are creating at your company code. And the asset classes, this is also created at a client level. You can see all other asset classes. Okay, so those are called asset client level configurations. Now Go into assign GL accounts for assets, select our chart of depreciation, chart of accounts, double click on account determination. So these are ours. The first six are ours. These are the account determinations we have created. Now the properties of assignment of GLs will come here. Now select our account determination for 1000. Double click on asset balance sheet accounts. Okay, double click on balance sheet accounts. Now here you can see 140 and 80. How did we get these three? Because these three are considered for real time posting. Let me go back and show you the same thing. Here our chart of depreciation is this. Enter. If you see here, 140 and 80 has area post in real time. Because of that, you can see those three. Okay, so going here into assign GL accounts again, chart of accounts, account determination 1000. Double click on balance sheet account. Here you can see three things. One is the balance sheet accounts. What are the balance sheet accounts? Both provision for depreciation and the original cost of the asset. Both are asset GLs, so you can see them here in this. And the next is the depreciation. When you run a depreciation, you need to have a depreciation GL account. So you can see over here, let us go and create that one GL account we will create. Okay. So do we have any account group for that? No, for all expenses, we have one group, account group, right? So let us create depreciation. So the depreciations here we have 4 lakh 40. Let me create from 4 lakh 60. So here again, depreciation accounts, you can create one separate depreciation expenses GL for each of the asset class, or you can create one GL for all of them. This is a revenue item. Depreciation is an expenditure which is a revenue item. You can create one, or you can create one for each of these asset classes. Okay, I'm just going into new entries. I will say 4,60,000. I will say here primary costs, and I will say expenses, depreciation on furniture, and control data. If I want to consider taxes, I can consider. Otherwise, I'll keep sort key 00001 and my cost element category going to be one, which is an expenses. Okay. Then in the create and bank interest, I would select expenses related. It means cost. Just to save it. Okay, I'm copying it. I will say 4,61,000 for what is the next one we have? Furniture machinery. I will say here machinery, next is computer. And here I will select two. I will say computer. This is again business requirement. You want to have a one separate depreciation GL for each of the asset class, or you want one. Then after computer, building, land, electrical fittings. Building, okay. The next we have is land. On land, we will not provide any depreciation. Okay, so we have electrical fitting, electrical fittings.
Hey, Nanda, I have one small question for you.
Mhm,
Like, whenever you're creating the GL account FS00, right? I
mhm,
see that on a control data, the cost element is a require entry, right? But some
mhm.
of the GL account, when you want to create, you don't want to use any cost element. So in that case, what you can do?
Here we will have to select non-operating expenses.
Oh, okay. So that will require entry, that will become optional.
Yes,
Oh, right. Okay.
fine. So let's go and maintain the same thing over here. So 1000 furniture, double click on balance sheet. So 01, select one and go to details, or you can double click over here, then balance sheet account for APC, acquisition and production cost. Okay, so ours is 2 lakh for this furniture account. I'm not going to maintain any of these. When we are running the transaction, we will have an error. That time we will come and maintain, so that you will understand what GL we are using for what purpose. Okay, I'm just maintaining because this is required in order to run our asset acquisition. So I'm just maintaining this. And here, see, here we have retirement, we have a revaluation, and we can see this is for this is in the case of investment. Of course, we don't use that. Okay, so just I'm maintaining over here. That's it. Double click on the depreciation thing, and here again one accumulated depreciation account for ordinary depreciation. So this is called a provision for depreciation account. And expenses account for ordinary depreciation. This is the depreciation account. Okay, so this is an accumulated depreciation, and here the expenses depreciation account. So accumulated depreciation for furniture is 2 lakh, 2 lakh 500. So select the same thing, and for depreciation we have 4,60,000. 4,60,000. Okay, that's it. This special reserve is a different scenario. In that case, we will be using. I'm not sure. I've never discussed this thing. I never worked on this. We will see. We'll try to do that. We will try to find out that one. Save it. And we have just maintained it for depreciation area one only. And in order to maintain for the next, just select next entry. Here you can see 40. Just you need to select, copy it, save it. And the next you have next entry for 80, save it. And we have maintained for all of them, but for balance sheet, we have just maintained only for this thing. For one, we have not maintained. For 40, we have maintained. For 80, we have to maintain. Save. That's it. So we have maintained acquisition value for the asset and provision for depreciation and depreciation, right? Save it. back. Okay, now you see here for 40 it is maintained. 1 second, yeah, 1000 here, and depreciation here you have for 80, for 40, for 1. Okay, for 1000 we have maintained, and let's see for 2000. Select 2000, double click on balance sheet. One we have, double click on one. Here depreciation area is one. For machinery, we have the next GL to consider. So machinery, for machinery, we have 2 lakh 1. Okay, this is for one. And for for the next one, we have to maintain the same thing. And for 80 also, we have to maintain the same. Save. Now, double click on depreciation, select for one. And what is the provision for depreciation? Provision for depreciation on machinery is 2 lakh 1,500, and for this 4 lakh 61,000. Okay, save it. For one we have maintained, the next you can maintain over here. 4 lakh 61. And next for 80. That's it. Okay, so go back to account determination for computer. Then for computer, it's going to be 2 lakh 2,000, right? Depreciation. Okay, in the balance sheet, we have just maintained for one, saving it. So select the same, 2 lakh 2,000, save it. And for next 80, 2 lakh 2,000. Next for depreciation. So this is going to be 2 lakh 2,500 and 4 lakh 62,000. Okay, depreciation on machinery. Oh, it's computer, right? So it means it is going to be 4 lakh 62. Yes. So the next is 40, 4 lakh 62, 2 lakh 2. Okay, the next we have for 80, 2 lakh 2,000, 4 lakh 62,000. Then go back to account determination for 4,000. So that way we will have to maintain the GLs for each of the depreciation areas and for each of the asset classes. I mean account determinations basically. Save it. 2 lakh 3,000. Next is 2 lakh 3,000. And for depreciation area, if you don't have the GL, system will throw up an error. What it is saying? Some error. Account not defined in chart of depreciation. Oh, sorry. Chart of accounts. 4 lakh 63. Depreciation on building. Ours is building. Okay, save it. 2 lakh 3,500, 4,63,000. Okay, so building is done. Then go to the land. Land has only the balance sheet account. It means only the acquisition account. So it does not have the depreciation. So just maintain this land 2,04,000. If the GL is not maintained, system will throw up an error. So I'm not going to select depreciation. Next we have is electrical fittings. So for electrical fittings, this is going to be 2,05,000. So select next, 2,05,000. Next, select next, 2,05,000. Okay, depreciation 2,05,000, right? 2,05,500 and 4,64,000. Okay, so save it. Next we have is for 80. Okay, so that's the account determination. So still we will have to maintain the GLs for the others, but we will at the time of posting the entry, we will have an error. We will come back here and maintain the same thing. Okay, just to save it back. So that's about the account determination. Any questions here? Okay, so that's the account determination. The next we have is a technical clearing account. This is a new concept in S4 HANA. Okay, so according to this technical clearing account, there are two parts. One is the operational part, the other one is the valuating part. There are two parts coming into this. So let's discuss this tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow as usually at 7. Any questions
No, no, no.
from any other from any others? Any questions? Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Nanda.
Thank you.